All right, let me try this again. All right, so the one video I did already was how to make a tessellation based on a square. Now there's another one, it's like a tessellation bird. And that's gonna be the one page for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll start that, right? So this is Illustrator. I almost said InDesign. I've been doing InDesign this morning. I'm gonna hit create new. We're gonna go to, let's do landscape today. We'll do landscape. You could change it all on here, change it to inches. It's 8.5 by 11, or if that wasn't 8.5 by 11, then you just come here to print. And you should have 8.5 by 11 there. You also have letter size here and here. And so if under print, you also should have, I change that to inches. You should also have something that says letter on it. But then it's 8.5 by 11, so that you know, in landscape. So there's multiple different ways to, get the right size here. So for those of you that are doing this in a notebook, which is going to be the class that this video is specifically made for, you will be doing this in your notebook or on a separate white sheet of paper. You're gonna need 2 pieces of paper, one that's kind of like a scrap paper, maybe heavier paper, so this way you can trace it easier once you cut it all out. You have to cut it into pieces. So because of that, you're going to have to, you're gonna cut it up and you're gonna tape it down and you're gonna trace the same shape 7 to 9 times. It doesn't have to fill your entire page like the one project did. So this will work for you, I think. So I'm gonna hit create. And on the one paper, you're gonna draw a 2 by 2 inch square. And you're gonna use about a 9 by 12, 9 by 11 sheet of paper, depending. You might only have 8 by 11, I don't know. But anyway, you're gonna draw a rectangle, not a rectangle, I'm sorry, a square. So you're gonna start with a square, 2 by 2 inches. I'm gonna hold the shift key to get my square for Illustrator, but you're not doing yours in Illustrator. Now to get the size, I'm gonna go to Window, to the Transform, where's it at? Transform. Window Transform. Transform gives me all my different dimensions, 2 by 2. Okay, I see what's happening. I didn't have it linked, okay. So right here, you're gonna click this to make sure it's proportionate. But before you do that, you're gonna change the numbers 2 by 2. All right, it's 2 by 2. If you have this clicked, then if I change the top number to 4, and the bottom number should automatically change to 4, see? But that's not what I want. I want 2 by 2. And that's a transform palette. Now, if you're doing it on paper, you're gonna use a ruler, and you're just gonna measure it out 2 by 2 square. I am going to do this step by step, and I want to leave my steps behind so that you can, see how it's done and actually freeze frame it and actually try to do this. You have to have 7 to 9 that you traced. You're going to do this compositely. I'm doing it step by step. So I'm going to hit my Alt Option key to copy this box. I'm going to hit Command R to get my rulers up. I'm going to bring my guide across here and a guide across down here to the center of it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a triangle into this shape right here. All right, so I would take a pencil and I draw a line from here to here. Like so. And what I'd end up cutting out is this. I'd cut this whole shape out right there. Being that I'm using a computer, I am not going to do that. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the shift key, Alt Option and Shift and bring this all down. Because I'm going to do this step by step for you. I'm going to cut this little area out right here. Let me delete that because this is not what I want. So let me see if we can do it this way. Scissors. I use a scissor tool. I'm going to use this white arrow. Right, my selection, hit delete, and I'm going to have an emptiness there. Then I'm going to use my pen tool and I'm going to add points. Okay. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click my pen tool. I'm going to come here to this section, click it again, and come back. Now, if you're doing this with a real piece of paper, you would have just cut this. The really key important part for the people who are actually cutting this, shape out is you're gonna have to keep this shape. So I'm gonna have to redraw this shape real quick and save it for later. Okay. No, it's gonna seem weird, but you don't have to redraw because you already drew it. If you drew it on paper, it's still on paper, right? So let me go ahead and I'm gonna save this for later. This little shape. I'm gonna move him over here for now because we're gonna need him. Okay, he's part of our bird. He's a tessellation bird. He looks more of almost like an origami bird in some way. All right, so the next step would be to take this shape. What is the Alt Option key? Because we're doing it step by step for you. All right. And I am going to have the guides here. I was holding the Shift and Alt Option when I did this. I have repeated a guide. All right, you're gonna draw a line from here to here and a line from here to here. And you're gonna cut these two bottom triangles off. So if I was doing this on paper, I'd take my pencil, get out of here. I'd take my pencil and I'd draw a line from here to here and a line from there. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Line from there to there, okay. And I'm gonna cut this triangle off and this triangle off, and I also had to save them. All right, so I'm going to Alt Option key. All right. So I'm gonna have to delete these because on the computer, this is not how I'd go about doing it. I mean, I could do that. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Instead of just deleting it, I'm gonna cut it with scissors. Like so. So I have 3 different cuts. And instead of deleting this shape, I'm gonna pull it off. Get out. I thought I cut it. All right, try cutting it again. All right, let me go back. That one and that one. Looks like it's not right. Oh, I didn't cut that piece off. Shoot. I'm doing a bad cutting job because I'm not zoomed in enough. Yes, let me zoom in now. Come on. Please use scissors. Oh, you know what? It is cut. What's going on here? Is it cut or not? It is cut. What is it? It's giving me a hard time about moving it. That's just a bunch of nonsense. Okay. All right. It's only moving the one end. Okay, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to pick it up and move it. Yeah, okay, now I'm using that as independent. Okay, let me zoom back out using Command minus, or Mac. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, but first I'm going to attach this, and I'm going to attach this. If you are drawing this on paper, you would not have to deal with what I just did. From here. You know what? I can't do that yet. There we go. Now I should be able to select just that. Use this tool. Pull this one off. Yeah, okay. Then I could go from here to here. All right. So basically, come on. All right. So basically, if you're cutting the piece of paper, you'd cut these 2 triangles off the paper, okay? And you would keep them in the exact position, and you would tape them to the top of this. So now I take this guy. Let me zoom on out. I'm going to repeat all these over here, okay? I would take these 2. I'd bring them on top of this guy. I would tape them. I'd tape them there. I had to move them in a little bit more. And I take this guy, and he'd end up being attached to that one, like so. So let me move these up a little bit. Let me take, I need a guide. Okay. That should be good. They should be overlapping like this. So I put a piece of tape here, a piece of tape here, and a piece of tape there. So these two would move on top, and then this extra piece that we saved would attach to this one. Then you're gonna, this will all be on a separate piece of paper, your 2 by 2 inch square, okay? Because it's all cut out already. And then you're gonna take this onto another piece of paper and you're gonna trace it over and over and over again. Now in Illustrator, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all these guys like so. I'm gonna go to Pathfinder and I'm going to join them all. I'm gonna go to File, New. Actually, I'm gonna copy it, but you just take yours to a new page. All right, you take yours to a new page and you just trace it with the pencil, 7 to 9 times. Then paint it alternating colors. So for mine, I'm just going to get a new piece of paper, hit create, paste this down, and I'm going to pick them up and I'm going to trace them over and over again 7 to 9 times. This guy I'm going to make a little bit smaller for now. For me, because I'm using a computer, I could just do this. He fits into himself like a puzzle, as you can see. So you're going to trace him just like this. You don't rotate him at all. He just should fit as long as you cut him right. You want 7 to 9 birds. Oops. How many do I have? I'm going to use black outline around mine all. You could paint yours, color yours with pencils. You can, this is going to be up to you, really, how you want to handle and treat these. You have a black outline on them all or not. I want to go back and put I'm using the wrong tool. I'll put a black outline around all mine. Mine aren't really lined up the way they should be, but yeah, that is what it is for now. Where's stroke? So you'll have some like, so this would be it. This would be your tessellation bird. And what you're going to do is you're going to color it whatever colors that you want. You can do more than 2 colors. I chose like a yellowish orange and a bluish purple. Again, it depends on how you have them spaced apart, but I don't know if you can see it as a bird, but that's what it is for me. It's my tessellation bird. Why I didn't make him up? He's somebody else did, but